Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Wednesday, April 24th, NBA playoffs, round one, game twos. Only 2 games on the slate for tonight. So probably going to be a pretty quick show overall. But let's dive into what we're looking at here for game twos. So we've got the Celtics and the Heat. I don't think this is going to be much of a series. It might get a little interesting in Miami. We don't expect that tonight. Thunder, Pelicans, game 2 of this one. Really tight game. I think the Pelicans, I don't know if they could have played a lot worse, but they still figured out how to get the win in that one. I think the Thunder play quite a bit better tonight and probably secure that win. But we like the Celtics in the first game line on this one here, around 14 and a half, 15, depending on where you're looking. Total at 202, 203, somewhere in that ballpark there. But I just think the Celtics are just way too much for the Heat. They were too much for the Heat, I thought, before the injuries. Then you throw the Jimmy Butler injury, Terry Rozier injury, in the mix, and it just becomes even more brutal for the Heat. It's not that they won't give effort. That is one thing you can bank on from the Heat is getting effort. I just way too much firepower on the Celtics side. So let's give you those bets in the Celtics game. Celtics minus 5.5 first quarter, minus 9.5 first half, minus 14.5 for the game. Porzingis 19 plus points, 25 plus points, 3 plus threes, over 27.5 par, and 2 plus blocks. And then we like Derek White quite a bit as well in this one. Derek White, 14 plus points, 3 plus threes, 4 plus threes, and over 21.5 par. So we'll give you those bets one more time in this Celtics and Heat matchup. Celtics minus 5.5 first quarter, minus 9.5 first half, minus 14.5 for the game. Porzingis, 19 plus points, 25 plus points, 3 plus threes, over 27.5 par, it's points, assists, rebounds combined, and 2 plus blocks. Derek White for the Celtics, 14 plus points, 3 plus threes, 4 plus threes, and let's see here, over 21.5 par. The only thing that worries me about betting Celtics props on when you're taking the overs is if they get up 30 again, these guys are sitting. But they do play a little bit into the fourth quarter, but maybe not as much. They kind of, they don't want to give the game away, but they also want to rest the guys as much as they possibly can. I think the Celtics are going to get a lot of rest through the first 2 rounds anyway, so I might just go ahead and play them, but there's always that risk of injury, all that kind of fun stuff there, so I understand why they're pulling them, stuff like that. Next game up, 6:40 out here in Phoenix, 9:40 Eastern time. Pelicans is still in OKC for game 2. Thunder, 7.5 point favorite, roughly around 210.5. This game went under 200 the first game. Thunder, I thought looked really nervous coming out. That wasn't too much of a shock, and I don't think in that game there. Pelicans played pretty well defensively. SGA's they're not calling a lot of fouls if they call it like they did in game 1. I think that's really SGA's gonna have to realize that he's not gonna get a lot of those foul calls going to the rim. So I think we're going to see probably a few more passes out of SGA unless he knows he can finish. He's normally one of the best finishers in the game at the rim, kind of like Kyrie Irving, Zion. Those guys finish tremendously at the rim as well. But they're just not calling those fouls, not giving him that, he drives into the chest of somebody and then he gets a call. They were not giving that call all game long. That kind of looked like he was a little bit shocked. On that one, Chet Holmgren, I think maybe needs to play a few more minutes. They're still in their regular season rotation for the most part, so they didn't really tighten that up too much. Pelicans still supposed to be out without Zion. I think that makes a huge difference in this series, to be really honest. If Zion is in this series, the Pelicans have a damn good chance of winning this thing. But without Zion, I just don't see it. CJ McCollum's tried, but he can't get it going. Brandon Ingram, he'd be a really good piece for a team, but I to be really honest, if I'm the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram and Jonas Valanciunas, I'm looking for a couple different pieces besides those two. They tend to clog up the lane. They slow things down. They don't extend the floor to help Zion drive even a little bit more. on that one, but that's for the off season, so to speak. But we do like the Thunder in this particular matchup here. We're going to take the Thunder minus 2.5 in the first quarter, minus 4.5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. Chet Holmgren, 15-plus points, 2+ threes, over 27.5 par, 3+ blocks, and 4+ blocks. CJ McCollum, under 20.5 points, under 3.5 3-pointers made, under 30.5 par. So one more time in this Thunder and Pelicans matchup. Sorry about that. Thunder minus 2.5 in the first quarter, minus 4.5 in the first half, minus 7.5 for the game. Holmgren, 15+ points, 2+ threes, over 27.5 par, 3+ blocks, and 4+ blocks. CJ McCollum, under 20.5 points, under 3.5 threes made, and also under 30.5 par on that one there. So quite a few bets for only 2 games. I mean, we roughly got about 23 bets for you for just only 2 NBA games going on tonight. So make sure you do check out the Google Sheets at the end of every show that we do. Also in our channel pages on TikTok and on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. There'll be docs.google.com/spreadsheet. Click on that link. If you want the basketball bets, you're just going to go to the basketball 23-24 tab and then scroll all the way down to April 24th. It's a full season worth of bets on there, folks. So, yes, you have to scroll to the bottom as we keep adding them as we go along on that one. So make sure you check that out when you get some time. Well worth your time on that one. You can see exactly the bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we wagered, what book we placed them at, and then obviously the result once everything's finished up. So great reference point for you on that one for if you're looking for some additional bets, or you're just looking for maybe info and data to back up the bets you're already pretty confident in. So make sure you check that out. And as always, if you could subscribe or follow us on whatever social media platform you're watching us on, whether it be YouTube or TikTok, makes life really simple to find us. Like on YouTube, if you hit that subscribe button, or on TikTok, if you hit that follow. Once we drop a new episode of bets, you'll see us in your subscription tab or followers that we've got a new episode of bets out. And if you want to make life even easier for yourself, turn on notifications for whatever social media platform you're watching us on, whether once again it be something like YouTube or TikTok or whatever it may be. Turn those notifications on. You'll get a notification to your phone or to your device, whichever you got set up, to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.